Hi there. Today I'm going to be talking about cultural humility and social justice in the counseling profession. Mother Teresa once said, "We think sometimes that poverty is only being hungry, naked, and homeless, but the poverty of being unwanted, unloved, and uncared for is the greatest poverty. We must start in our own homes to remedy this kind of poverty." I think one of the worst forms of victimization is what happens inside of individuals who do not get the physical, emotional, and logistical support they need. How do we truly see and hear people and their stories? Because no two persons are alike, cultural awareness is imperative to truly see and understand our clients. Cultural humility is a competence associated with an openness to working with diverse clients, which is positively correlated with a strong therapeutic alliance. It is the awareness that cultural changes have macro and micro implications to them and are not static, so that I am not seeking to be an expert on culture, but rather am seeking self-reflection, learning from, and partnership building with clients, and lifelong learning. Because I want to bring about equality and positive change for all, I desire to actively work towards balancing power differentials and justice with clients as well as in society and systems at large by educating, advocating, and empowering the oppressed. Our primary responsibility as counselors is beneficence, which is the practice of placing the client's welfare first while respecting their dignity and promoting their welfare. I place high regard on using the integrative ethical decision-making model, which initially identifies any possible cultural, religious, and worldview factors that may correspond with the problem presented, and then seeks to examine these factors in relation to each course of action. In all ethical decisions, I think it's advisable to use Stadler's justice self-test, whereby a counselor considers if she would treat others the same in a similar situation. I would like to develop and demonstrate cultural humility among LGBTQ plus populations and people of color by research and professionally and personally working to understand their experiences and what internal and external barriers impede access, equality, and success for them. I will continue to regularly learn and assess any personal biases I have that may exclude others from success or negate their experiences. And as always, I continue to practice gratitude for the things and opportunities that I have and the possibility that I might have some of those things based on my physical being or status. I am hoping to advocate for children and young people who are engaged in or at risk for abuse and or addiction, in particular in the realm of sex work, trafficking, and victimization. I believe that many times the abuse and addiction cycle begins when a minor continually does not receive the attachment or care needed early on. This is certainly the case when a person's trauma needs go unmet. Trauma origins and awareness can begin to shed light on sex victimization. I desire to lobby for these young people at local, state, national, and international levels, and how we can best inform parents, guardians, educators, ministers, and caregivers. I would like to see campaigns in childcare settings, schools, and churches that actively educate and engage parents, grandparents, and guardians in this issue of how to meet the emotional needs of children. I seek to empower young women and mothers to overcome trauma and to become not only survivors, but thrivers who care well for themselves. In Luke 4:18, Jesus quoted Isaiah by saying, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to proclaim liberty to the captives and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty those who are oppressed." Jesus was a revolutionary who left us a legacy of challenging systems of oppressions. I commit to look to serve him, to look to him, and to answer the call to be a vessel for those in need, regardless of their race, ethnicity, creed, religion, or sexual identity.